what it really means to live life golden.
Sweetheart, are we offending you?
Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden. They can't ever break us down, cause we're golden. They're about to see us glow, cause we're golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden.
Welcome to the Leisure House Podcast. We got guest Patrick Dat Weenie Herrera. So, Patty, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you ended up at Kentucky, and just how things are going here.
Yeah, man. So I'm from Arizona. Ended up at Kentucky freshman year. Me and you both played a little bit in Chicago. I went to Northwestern for my freshman year. Had a pretty good year. Decided to hit the portal, and then ultimately chose Kentucky.
Yeah. So I was in the portal a couple years. This past year and year prior, what was your experience like in the portal? Like coaches hitting you up left and right, or was it kind of like dry in a couple weeks and then, all of a sudden a bunch of coaches hit you up? How was it like for you?
I'd say I got a pretty good amount of schools that reached out, but then none really to the caliber of Kentucky.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kind of smaller schools on the West Coast where I'm from. And then kind of Kentucky called, and that's SEC. You can't really look at that one. So that was the big one I got. So, yeah.
So when they called you, was it just like, yeah, I'm going there?
I tried to play it off a little bit. Talk to the coaches, like, let me give it some thought.
Yeah.
And then it was a Zoom call when I got offered. So as soon as I got off that call, I was freaking out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think within 2 or 3 days I committed. So yeah,
awesome.
That's kind of how it went down.
Yeah, that's sick. So, out of high school, how many years did you play varsity? And when you finally got your opportunity in varsity, were you getting calls from schools, or what was it like, going through that varsity experience or high school experience?
Yeah. So funny enough, my dad was my high school coach
No
all
way.
4 years.
Let's go.
So the stereotype of, the coach's son gets, like leeway and gets treated better. Not the case with my dad, but in a good way. Like he was hard on me and my brother. Me and my brother played high school together. So that was a really cool experience. And then I played varsity all 4 years. We had a lot of success at my school. And then I only had the one offer from Northwestern out of high school. So kind of good academic school. I was like good in school. So that's just kind of how it went down. Got the one offer and just rolled with it.
That's sick. Yeah, no, my dad's coached me pretty much my whole life, so I get that. Everybody thinks that they favor you, but it's like they don't. No. They really don't.
No, yeah.
I know there is people that it happens to, but like especially my dad, he was hard on me, and I had to work for any kind of spot that I was getting. So
sure.
I can imagine that was the same for you.
Mm-hmm.
So did you play? Were you shortstop, third, second?
Second base in high school.
Second base.
Yep. Nice. A little bit shortstop my senior year, but mostly second.
Yeah. So when did you know that, like, when you were a freshman, for all the young kids out there, when did you kind of realize that you were D1 potential, that you were good enough?
I would say, funny enough, I was telling you earlier, but I thought I was going to play basketball in college.
Yeah.
And so baseball was never really the main focus for me. And then I think it was my junior year, before my senior year, I just filled out a little bit, got a little bit stronger, and had a really good summer. And just talked about it with my parents, and they were like, you have a real shot to go D1 and play a lot of baseball in the future. So kind of switched from the focus basketball to baseball. And then, I'd say that summer before my senior year, I was kind of like, all right, I could really do a lot here.
Yeah.
So,
So would you say, like, playing another sport on top of baseball made it more fun in high school, or do you think it, like, playing one sport is the way to go, or multi-sport?
My advice would be to play as many sports as you can.
Yeah.
Being athletic in something other than one main sport, I think, can only help. And then, baseball it's a tough game. If you're playing it year round, like, you're gonna struggle. So just having kind of basketball to fall back on, and if I was, ever had a bad summer baseball game, I could just take my mind off of it, shooting some hoops with the boys or going to play. So I think that definitely helped me out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, I've heard plenty of stories where, like, kids are playing multi-sports, and it just makes them better at whatever they end up doing. Like, if they end up playing basketball, well, you have that baseball, like, side of you that isn't very common. And baseball is one of the toughest sports, I think, to be able to play. And if you can play baseball, I think you can play any sport. So I think playing basketball, that's pretty cool. I always played basketball in like middle school, just like shooting hoops.
Yeah.
Like you play lightning.
Do what?
Lightning?
I think we called it knockout.
Knockout?
Like the free
Yeah.
throw?
Dude, that must be another OC thing.
Lightning? I don't think.
Yeah. We'd call
Maybe
it
one
lightning.
person has
We'd
ever
call
called
it
it
lightning, dude. Or at least at my middle school.
It sounds cooler than
whatever.
knockout.
Yeah.
So
lightning, if nobody knows what that is, you pretty much, guy shoots, and the guy behind him, if he makes it before you do, like you're out. So the point is to try to knock everybody out. But I was so good at that game, and the middle school coach asked me to like play basketball on the team.
you got recruited from
I got
Lightning?
recruited from Lightning.
That's actually sick.
Yeah, that was cool. But I was never good. I have no bunnies, so I mean, I just like it's just fun to like play with the boys. Like you just shoot hoops or whatever.
I mean, I would pretty much just stand in the corner in high school and chuck up threes. That was my role on the team. So not a whole lot of bunnies for me either. But yeah.
Could you dunk at all or no?
I've dunked one singular time in my life.
One singular, like
one time
two-hand?
after practice.
Reverse?
I had someone throw up the lob, and I just
There you
tipped
go.
it right
Tip
in.
it in. Yeah, that counts. That's a dunk.
So I mean, I can tell people I've dunked before, but most of the time I don't tell them it was just the one time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So, there's a strength side of when you get into college. Did you ever feel like you were undersized or you just weren't as strong as these other guys? And when you realized that you had to like get strength, get stronger, what went through your mind? How did you go about that?
Yeah, for sure. I would say, so my freshman year, I felt pretty good, but then once I got to an SEC school, the amount of like strength I realized I had to gain was kind of eye-opening. Shout out to my roommate Jackson Gray from last year, biggest baseball player I've ever seen in my life. But he, like him, Hunter Gillum, Noel McCarthy, all just huge guys, and I was like, geez, I have to, before it was just like hit a lot, take a lot of ground balls, but now once I got here, I realized I had to really spend a lot of time in the weight room. And then from all the weight strength coaches joke around with me now that when I got here last year to now, it's a huge difference.
That's funny. I did hear something today when you were throwing around 105s. This boy was benching 105s like it was nothing. And what were they saying? They were like, "Oh, you were benching 25s last
Gibby
year."
said I was struggling with the bar 25s last year, which there might be some truth to that, but now I got a little stronger, so it feels good.
Yeah, no, I agree with the strength side. I feel like going from SC, like just seeing the guys that are lifting and like how we would lift compared to here, I feel like the guys are huge.
Yeah.
Like Wally's throwing around 120s with his feet on the bench. I'm just like, what the heck? And I've never been a big dude. Like this is like the biggest I've ever been, and I'm not even that big. But
I think you're pretty big.
just thanks. But just seeing like all these guys that are like hitting balls 116. Putting up weight. Like I feel like it's an important part of being an athlete, being strong. And you can be strong in different ways, like if you're explosive, that's like a strength. But like moving weight fast, like ultimately will translate, I think, to the baseball field.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, when you were at Northwestern, you were there for 2 years?
Just my freshman year.
Just your freshman year, okay. And so what made you kind of realize that you didn't want to be there anymore, or you wanted to go somewhere better, or it wasn't a good fit? What did that look like?
Yeah, I have no bad things to say about Northwestern, really. I love my only year there, and Chicago is probably my favorite city. Just even a year there made me realize that. We just had a lot of guys enter the portal, and then we had a coaching change, and it was kind of just one of those things where I was like, it was kind of a rebuilding process, and I didn't know if I really wanted to stick around for that. But I really enjoyed my time there. Nothing but good things to say. But when an SEC school comes knocking, it's kind of hard not to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
So
I completely agree with that. Chicago is literally the best city I've ever been to.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it, and I'm sure you had a good experience there too.
Yeah.
Just like the city, I feel like everyone's way nicer. Like in a city, like a huge city, the amount of people that are just so like cool, I think. Yeah. And like there's a lot of tourist people there, but like the city is like clean. Yeah. And like you go to LA where I was at SC, it was disgusting. I never heard anybody ever say they want to go downtown LA. Like never. And you're in Chicago, it's like downtown Chicago. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's just like tons of stuff to do. Like you got the lake, the Bean, you got the Bean, you got the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower. You got so much to do, and like I feel like I haven't even like discovered all of it when I was there for a year.
Yeah.
And I went to go visit my cousin Erica this summer, and me and my girlfriend went to the Windy City Smokeout Festival, and we saw Zach Bryan and all those homies. Yeah. And we went and saw even more stuff that I didn't even see there, and I was just blown away. And she's from New York, and she's been in the big city, but she loves Chicago way more, and it's just like an awesome experience.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely need to go back soon.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, but I mean, same with like I kind of had like a similar experience. Like no bad feelings with UIC my freshman year. It was kind of just like, you know that you have more in you, and you want to see like where it can take you. And the SEC is definitely the best conference in America, and like you can't go anywhere else to play that's better than this. And I mean, you can see the field here. It's beautiful. It is gorgeous. Ball does not really fly to center. I've learned that quickly. Nowhere anywhere really. So it's gonna be interesting this year, but it's cool.
Funny about UIC, I still think that's the coolest field I've ever played at.
Dude, it's really cool.
The skyline, or the Chicago skyline backdrop.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's one of the things that sold me when I was like being recruited. They're like, "Yeah, this is our field," and they show like downtown, and I was like, "All right, I'm in. I'm in." And do you know Curtis Granderson went there?
Is it Curtis Granderson Field? Right.
Yeah, Curtis Granderson Field.
Because we played there my freshman year. I think we got run rolled actually, but I was still having a good time because it was a great view.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you said that you have a Hispanic dad or Spanish dad and a ginger mom.
My mom, no, both my siblings are gingers.
Both your siblings are ginger, and your mom's just...
She's Irish.
And
okay.
So, So how's that like growing up, man?
Yeah, so my dad grew up in New Mexico. My grandparents, very in touch with their Hispanic roots, and then my dad's full. And then, my mom's Irish, and I kind of got the 50-50 Hispanic-Irish, and then my brother AJ, sister Peyton, leprechauns. They got that Irish gene.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I mean, I always joke about it with them, making the ginger jokes and stuff. They think it's funny, but
That's really interesting. I mean, your last name's Herrera, if you say it in a Hispanic way. But, like, their last name's Herrera, too. So, like...
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So, when you came from Arizona, it's hot. It's the hottest, one of the hottest states in America. And then you went to Chicago, and then you had a winter here in Lexington. Tell me the differences of each place that you went to.
Yeah, Arizona, the heat's different. It's not the humid heat we get here in Kentucky, but I mean, I remember games in the spring where it would be 100 plus.
Yeah.
And then pretty much went to the exact opposite in Chicago. I don't think we played on a Friday at home for the first maybe 4 series of the year because we got snowed out.
Yeah.
Which I had never played in the snow before. Yeah. I had never experienced anything like that.
Yeah.
But the people who complain about the cold the most, like, really let it get to their head, and I feel like at some point I was just like, you just have to pretend it's not. You just have to go out.
Pretend it's not.
Or it is, and you just huddle up by the heater as much as you can, and then just get through it. You just got to get through it. The difference was pretty crazy, but I feel like I adjusted pretty well.
Yeah. And would you say Chicago winters are worse or Lexington winters?
Chicago, for sure.
Oh
yeah. We got a little bit of snow last year in Kentucky, but, I mean, we pretty much practiced outside all the time in the winter. And, can't say the same in Chicago. So yeah.
I mean, the wind chill is what makes Chicago just absolutely unbearable, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it was funny. The year before I got to UIC, I was committed, and I was in my gap year, and I'm looking at the social media, and all of a sudden I see -60 wind chill. Perfect. And I'm like, what the heck am I getting into? I'm like, there's no way, like -60?
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do? And so I was scared out of my mind. And when I got there, it was like this, like beautiful, like for 2 months. And I was like, there's no way how does it get cold? And then all of a sudden, winter comes around and you have 6 a.m. waits. And we lived in the dorms. So, I mean, we were like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, we were like a 10-minute walk.
To the weight room?
To the weight room.
Yeah.
And I'm walking with my Timbs.
8 layers.
8 layers.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, why did I come here? And it's like
I can't wait to go split squat.
Right? Yeah, I'm going to go split squat 135 pounds because I'm so weak.
Knees are just frozen shut.
And it's freezing. And then you go out and you're done and then you got class.
Yeah.
And you got to walk in the snow again and you're just like, bro.
Yeah.
But I feel like that just you just get a different kind of mentality after that. Like the resilience you build,
yeah.
It's definitely shaped me a lot. Just being able to go through that. It's you just got to do it. There's no secret code that I'm going to tell you and it's going to be it's not cold. But it's you just got to go. You just got to show up. You just got to do it. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't really complain about it. Yeah. So outside of baseball, what are some of your hobbies that you like to do?
I love taking pictures, actually. One of my many nicknames, Patty Pics, as you know. So whenever we're hanging out with the boys, I'll bring my camera, take some pictures, do all that. And I still hoop a little bit. I'll go to the rec center here, give Cooper Robinson the work.
Yeah.
And shoot around a little bit.
Is he a baller too?
He's pretty good, actually. Hasn't beat me yet.
Yeah.
But, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll give him a shout-out, Cooper Robinson.
And Coop's going to be on the podcast soon, too. He said he wants to get on it.
Good thing we didn't come together.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
So, is you just hoop? Anything in Arizona that you like to do? Is there any fun stuff? Bowling? I don't know.
I do love bowling, actually.
Bowling?
Yeah. That's something me and my family does a lot. I've got my own ball, if that
no
tells
way.
you anything.
I didn't. And you didn't mention that?
Well, I got it from Goodwill for $1, I think. So,
wow.
Hey,
it's your own ball, man. It's yours.
And then I like to hike a lot. In the summer in Arizona, it's pretty tough to do that. You have to go 4 or 5 in the morning if you want to beat the heat. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I actually went a couple weeks ago here, my first hike in Kentucky, and it was a pretty good time.
Where?
It was called Ravens Run Sanctuary, I think.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
Dude, I want to go. I like hiking.
It was a good time. I didn't realize it was going to be a 5-mile hike when I started on the trail, the trek. But no, it was a good time. I love being outdoors, fish a little bit here and there, do some of that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. So in Arizona, I think most people know Phoenix, Scottsdale. Can you kind of give a geographical location of where Mesa? Mesa, right?
Yeah, so Scottsdale is pretty north, and then that's probably 20 minutes. Phoenix is 20 minutes south, or southeast of Scottsdale, and then a little bit further east is Mesa.
Okay.
So it's kind of Mesa, Phoenix, Scottsdale. And,
Mesa, Phoenix, Scottsdale. Okay.
And then, so I live in Mesa, and then my grandparents live in Phoenix, and then a lot of my aunts and uncles live in Phoenix, Scottsdale area. Okay. So I'll travel there quite a bit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So is most of your family from the West Coast?
Yeah, New Mexico, Arizona. I've got aunt and uncle, cousin in California, Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So we'll go there every summer and stay with them for a couple of days. Then we'll go to San Diego for our family vacations and stuff.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So
I want to live in San Diego so bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's the most beautiful part of California because it's just beachy, everyone's chill.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a perfect of hot, but it's not too hot where there's no ocean breeze or anything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think me, you, and Coop are the only West Coast guys.
I think you might be right. Yeah, I don't think we have anyone from Texas or anything. I don't even know if that even counts as West, but
nah,
yeah,
I don't count that.
The West Coast
it's west
boys.
from Kentucky, but not out west where the boys are at. So, NIL is a huge thing. College. Have you taken advantage of that, or is that what's it like as a college athlete? Having the opportunities to reach out to brands or brands to reach out to you. Mm-hmm. You see all these. At SC, Caleb Williams is getting $2.5 million. Yeah. What's the reality of the NIL world?
I can say I'm not quite on Caleb Williams level with $2.5 million, but I've talked to a couple companies and stuff. Just reaching out saying, hey, I'm a Kentucky athlete, and I think I could, help your brand grow. Like if, you want to do a deal or something like that. So I've done a couple of those. I mean, it's just here and there, like maybe some restaurants, like a shirt or two I might get if I promote it. So I think it's a really cool opportunity. And then I know a lot of the guys who were starters last year took advantage of that, and they had some really cool deals. So, I mean, I don't think there's really anything bad with it. We're helping the university. We're, doing our best to bring in the money, and if some companies want to help us out, then, more power to us.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. I mean, it's not like we're great athletes and like we're at an awesome university, but it's not like people are reaching out and be like, oh yeah, we'll give you $100,000 if you do this.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. I mean?
So you got to like start with the small stuff. Mm-hmm. And what I like to do is, if I like something, like let's say I drink coffee or something.
Oh yeah.
I try to get something that can like help me, have that every single day. Like what's a way I can help somebody out, and how can they help out my need? And so strong coffee is like something that I've been drinking like every single day. And my boy Caleb, he's like the social media guy. He runs Strong Coffee with Adam, and they've done a great job with this stuff, and I wanted you to try some.
Yeah.
So we got Strong Coffee, instant latte plus essentials. So pretty much we got 15 grams of collagen protein, 5 grams of coconut MCT oil, L-theanine, and it's got a neurofactor. So it's pretty much supposed to help you like with the cognitive focus and without getting like the jitters of coffee. And you said you've never had coffee before.
I've never had a full cup of coffee in my life before.
Okay. So we're gonna have you try an iced coffee since I can kind of make it right here. Hopefully the ice didn't melt. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
So we got the Wake the F Up cup. Just keeping it PG. So all you pretty much do, just open it like that. I'm just gonna pour it into the cup. Just like that. Got my water. Pour some water. So you want to do like 8 to 10 fluid ounces, but like I like to keep it small first, so that way I can mix it without it flying everywhere.
You're a coffee expert, so you know the tricks of the trade.
So then you just froth it around. I got my frother. Everybody was making fun of me because they're like, why the heck do you have a frother? And I was like, hey, man.
Sorry.
So, I drink this stuff every single day. Yeah. I mean, every day. And I'm not like BSing just to like promote them.
Yeah.
But like, you see me with my cup of coffee every day. And
every morning, yeah. At that 9 a.m. infield group.
Yeah, in the 9 a.m. infield group. And I'm actually really happy we don't have like 6 a.m. lift.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like it's not like I like doing ground balls or hitting and then going to lift, because you just feel like you get the most out of what you're actually doing like in the game. So you just froth it up, and then we got the ice. Get some ice in there. So oh shit.
A little water, that's okay.
Yeah, fine. Technical difficulties. There we go. All right, hopefully it doesn't taste too bad. Just give it one more mix.
Froth it up a little more.
For good measure. Usually you're not supposed to froth it up more, but I like to just make sure it's frothed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, what did that take? A minute, too?
Maybe, if that.
So, I mean, I'll take the first sip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That'll do?
That'll do. All right, first taste test.
I think I'm a coffee guy now. That's really good.
I mean, it's like you're drinking coffee, but then you feel good about yourself, because then you're like,
that's really good.
I'm getting 15 grams of protein in there.
Yeah.
And so I think protein's a huge thing for everybody, gaining weight or trying to maintain weight and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, usually I like hot coffee. This was kind of just like a makeshift,
Yeah, I liked it like that. That was good.
Yeah. All right, we got a question. This is the social experiment I did.
Okay.
We did. I mean, I think you already saw, but just kind of get it with the viewers. The birdie or the waterfall.
Oh yeah.
So I did like a social experiment with. I saw this TikTok, and this girl went on like a hike, and she said, "Do you birdie or waterfall?" to random people, and they like said, "Oh, I'm from OC," and the OC guy was like, "Oh, it's a birdie." And then I was like, what the heck? Yeah, like it's a birdie. Like I've never heard anything different. I don't know why. I've never even thought about waterfall. And then she asked like somebody from South Carolina or something. And they're like, waterfall. And then birdie. Every single one was from OC was from saying birdie. And so I didn't believe it. So I was like, all right, I got to like, check it out for myself. And then I go and do this like thing on my Instagram, birdie or waterfall. Mm-hmm. And every single one, I got like 75 people. They're all from OC, birdie. Mm-hmm. And you're from the West Coast.
Yeah.
And you say waterfall.
I've never even heard of birdie.
It's
an OC thing.
It's an OC thing. And it's crazy because growing up, they call it the OC bubble. And it's like people never want to leave Orange County because it's like has everything you need, all the jobs you need. And it's like, I didn't believe that. I was like, what the heck is the OC bubble? Yeah. This is the first time since high school since I've thought about the OC bubble. And I was like, that makes so much sense. All my friends say birdie. And it's like, hey, let me get a birdie of that. Just so it just flows off my tongue.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. That like just a small, I mean, Orange County is pretty big, but like an area has like its own.
Yeah.
Diction.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean, everybody on the team thinks I'm crazy. It's funny. They're like, dude, what is a birdie?
Well, that's like we did it today at the lift. Everyone's saying birdie now because of you.
Were they actually?
Yeah, we're like, yo, let me get a birdie.
No way. Yeah, that's funny.
You're bringing it to the south. Yeah.
The OC Lexington lingo. That's funny. All right, I got my list of questions right here. Okay. Have you ever had like a big injury before? And if you haven't, what are ways that you feel like what have you done that you felt like that has prevented you from getting injured?
Yeah, so physical injuries, the only one I've really ever had was in middle school playing basketball. I tried to LeBron James pin someone's layup on the backboard.
No way.
I got up there, but I like got caught up in the air and I ended up breaking my wrist. But that was only like a couple month healing process. But last year actually, in the fall, I got mono and got super sick. I lost like over 25 pounds. I was just bedridden for a month. God, dude. So like that was more of like a health thing, but that really set me back a little bit. And so just kind of working through that last year, ended up getting all my weight back, started to feel good. Yeah. But yeah, that was something that I was dealing with last year. That was kind of an injury in a way.
Yeah. Mono's no joke, dude.
Yeah.
I had a couple teammates, or one teammate had mono last year, and it was like a night and day difference. I was like, bro, what happened? It's crazy. And my brother had mono when he was little. And it's like if you hit in the stomach, it's like really bad, right?
Yeah, I couldn't practice even when I got healthy for a couple weeks because I think it's your spleen is like gets big from it or something. And baseball, we don't move here at Kentucky, so if I got a fastball right off the spleen, that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We don't move, man. We don't move.
We're gonna jump out of the window and see if I can survive.
With those kicks you got on, you might, dude. Let's talk about these kicks, these Cats Air Forces. Tell me a little about these. I have never seen anything that cool.
Yeah, shout out Jeff Poole. These are the shoes we got for making a regional last year. So we got some extra gear for that. And then this was like the big surprise that we got, the custom
Those are
Kentucky
tough,
Air
dude.
Force, with the speckles on the bottom.
Yeah.
We got
and the logo, the Kentucky logo.
Yeah, we got Kentucky right there. We've got I'll try and flip around the back cats right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can rotate my hip mobility.
I think you should just take your shoe off.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Talk about it a little bit.
There we go. We got the Kentucky logo, bat cats, and then
speckles. And do you have more than one lace, or is it just gray?
We got white laces.
White laces too. Yeah.
But we got this. We got some Air Maxes, a couple shirts, some sweatpants. So hopefully we can make another regional this year. Get some more kicks. Get some more gear.
You make Omaha, we'll probably get something a little better than those too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys get geared out. Like from what I've seen, like I think it's really cool that we have to like earn gear. Mm-hmm. And it's like it's really easy to get caught up in like the gear and like everything's given to you all at once. And it's like, here's all your stuff. Like, welcome to the SEC. But here, it's a little different.
Yeah.
And I'm on board with it. I was a little, like, skeptical at first because I didn't really understand. I was like, all right.
The gray cotton tee is kind of,
But, like, when you're going out and practice and you have a standard that you're trying to get to earn gear, Like you focus that much more. And it's not all about the gear, but just having that like switch of like focus, all right, I need to do this. I need to do this right. I need to do this right. And then I can earn something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the gear is sweet here. Like I mean, we've got some sweet Metcons. We've got only the weightlifting shirt, but I'm sure we got a ton more stuff coming.
Yeah, we got a lot more on the way.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
So you said you got a nice little fit on. Tell me about this fit. What is the inspiration?
I'm a big thrifter, so this is a Goodwill product right here. Probably
That's
about $3.
$3?
Yeah, I'll show the fans if you want to hit up Goodwill.
Shout out Goodwill.
Kentucky. Got my Lulu shorts on, you know. Got the kicks already, and then I got my my Dodger hat.
Oh, you said you're from Arizona and you're a Dodger fan?
I know, probably going to get some crap for that, but yeah, the story there is my dad grew up in New Mexico, and then the Isotopes are their single or double A team, and so him and my grandpa would go to those games and stuff, and then he became a Dodger fan, passed it on to the rest of the family, so yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong being a Dodger fan, I'll tell you that. As a Dodger fan myself, boys in blue, man, we're just different. And, I mean, Freddie Freeman is probably one of my favorite hitters to watch because you look at him, if I just saw him walking right there, I'd be like, damn, that guy's big, like 6'5", like 220 or something, and you think he would just try to hit bombs like all the time. But you watch him take BP, and his first couple rounds are literally line drives to shortstop. And you're like, why is this guy like graduating? Yeah, we call it graduating here. Shout out Coach Ammo. But it's really cool to watch a guy like his size, a first baseman who's supposed to just hit bombs over the scoreboard or whatever, really focus on what he's trying to do in the game.
Yeah.
And he still hits, he has got like 25 home runs and almost 60 doubles.
Yeah.
So you think about someone working on their craft like that is able to still produce in the game. Like, it shows you that BP is super important. It's not all about just hitting home runs.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about here is we work on different zones. We don't just, like, set the fastball, all right, do this and this. Like, and then it'll be down the middle, but then they want you to hit it, like, to left center. You'd be like, well, if it's down the middle, I'm going to crush it over the scoreboard if I get it in the game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But here it's like we work the 8 zone, which is the top of the zone, and they want you to get on top. Work the 6 zone, which is outside.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. And so when you move the ball around, you're actually getting real pitches that would happen in the game, and now you can really feel what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the graduating round, at first, it was the weirdest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It was like under 13 degrees, and you get instant feedback off that great scoreboard over there. We had the TrackMan.
Yeah. That's
Exit
one of my favorite
velo.
parts too,
Yeah. And it's just really cool. I've never seen that before at a college level facility where you have instant feedback.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And you know, you could crush a home run, but then you're like, I don't know, I wonder how hard I hit that. Well, here, like, everybody knows how hard you hit it, and everybody knows how far you hit it. If you hit it 20 miles an hour, everybody knows. If you hit it 120, everybody knows.
Yeah.
So I think Ammo does a really good job of like having a lot of the stat things for baseball, exit velo, spin rate. Like, he's really on point with all that stuff, and he implements it into our practice really well.
Yeah.
And I like how the practices are around here.
Yeah, I would say too, like last year especially, I would, with like seeing my exit velo numbers and stuff, I tried not to put a lot of, I still try not to put a ton of stock in that, just, you know, but like seeing the numbers last year and then hitting the weight room and then seeing them now, like I didn't change anything. I'm not trying to hit it harder, but just seeing the strength pay off is like super, you know, gratifying. And,
that's I agree with that. I think that's the cool thing about like somebody that's like been grinding and like you don't see, like, you could be hitting it harder, but you really don't know. And like you said, you didn't change anything. Yeah. And you see a difference. Or maybe somebody's trying a new swing and like they have a different load, a different stance, and that ball comes off 5 miles an hour harder. They're like, well, now they can see it, and they're like, all right, yeah, that works. Like, let's keep doing that one. So it's cool to be able to get that instant feedback, but you can get kind of overcomplicated and be like, oh my God, I can't hit it over 92. Or like, I need to swing harder and do this and this. But if you really know how to like stay within yourself and just focus on the practice, it's not really that big of a deal. but it's really cool to have. So, yeah.
It's a cool luxury.
Yeah, very. And that's just one of the many luxuries of Kentucky Proud Park. So, what are some, like, what's your goal? Like, what do you want to do, like, after baseball?
Yeah, I talked to you a little bit before we started this, but, like, I set up my camera and stuff, and I love taking pictures, like I talked about a little bit earlier. So if I could, like, work with a sports team and maybe run their social media or do some video design stuff, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
So shout out to Miles Vision. He's one of the best social media video makers I've, like, seen in sports, period.
Yeah.
And so, like, gonna try to work with him to kind of see what he knows, what he can teach me. I think that would be a really cool kind of career to pursue if baseball didn't work out.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I've seen some of your pictures. You got some good stuff.
Yeah.
And anybody's looking for a videographer, photographer, Patty Picks. I'll tag him in the link below, something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing that a lot of people that are, like, influencers or, like, even colleges are looking for guys that can just, like, do that kind of stuff. And like, just seeing, like, what you've done, like, I think you can do it. You just got to, like, buy into the full, knowledge of Miles. He's got a lot of knowledge. If you can learn from him, like, you'll be great. Yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so happy to be here, man, and I appreciate you hopping on the podcast. This was great.
Bro. Appreciate
this
you.
was awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Leisure House. Tune in for next time, and we'll see you soon. Later.